So how to choose a good agent to represent your GTI profile? When we had a conference with the Department of Home Affairs about 3 weeks ago, they informed us the qualities of file presented by candidate themselves, which you think you lodge yourself, actually overall is really poor. And the profile lodged by migration agent, registered migration agent, usually is better. Therefore, Department of Home Affairs really recommend everyone to really seek a registered migration to present a case. Okay, first of all, they do not encourage you to submit yourself because you do not, as you know, this is law, immigration law. It is also the government initiative. So you should allow the professionals to handle your case as you are a professional yourself. The reason why you specialize in this area because you spend enough time in working your industry, not enough time understanding immigration law, right? So you should not handle yourself. Department recommend everyone submit by a registered migration agent. Usually that's what will happen. I heard a lot of candidate approach us. They submit themselves, never heard any news from immigration, and they do not know how to follow up. If even they do, it's kind of cause a lot of hassles to the town officer because they do not know the structure, the language. They want to ask the immigration to follow up. They cause a lot of hassles. So department kind of, if you don't know what you're doing here, I'm going to just put into your category of a non-priority. So I'm not going to give you invite or not invite because I don't have time to look at that. So they just don't do anything. So first of all, you need to get a registered migration agent to represent a case. Now you need to make sure they are registered in Australia with OMARA because they must follow code of conduct and they must know what kind of work that's department expecting. So overall, if you find someone who's actually overseas, which doesn't have a registration code, or you don't know whether they have registration code, the most important thing is you actually need to find out whether or not they're registered. It's really simple. You just log in, Google like mara.gov.au. You'll be able to find information about their registration code, their name, and they are representing a company, so the company name. If you still have doubt, really simple, OMARA is actually, although it's within the government unit, they actually have a separate power. So it doesn't matter, they do not want to ask your name, you just tell them, okay, you just want to ask them, what's the name of the agent, do they registered, etc. So you want to make sure you actually have spoken to that agent. You don't speak to someone else because this is critical kind of a visa. If you haven't got a chance to speak to the registered agent, which means they are not paying attention to this kind of visa, and maybe they are not specialized in this area. So first of all, again, you must find a registered migration agent in Australia or outside Australia is fine, but they have to be registered. They can be registered migration agent or immigration lawyer registered with different states of law society. So either way, they can represent your case. Do not handle applications yourself because that risk that your case will never be looked up due to the poor quality of application and incorrect information you provided or contradict information you provide or too much or too little information you provide. Any of these errors you created when the submission occurred that will cause you to never be processed. That is the reason and discuss about that. Now I understand some of candidates that approach me and say, okay, I heard someone did it online, forum, this and that, and I heard a colleague, I heard a friend, whoever this is did. You do not know their situation. First of all, you don't know what they have. You do not know whether they did themselves or they actually got agent to do that for them. You don't know what kind of achievement they have. This kind of program is actually trying to distinguish you to others, and their work is distinguish you to between themselves to you, and you trying to tell department that they are similar case and you have similar background. And that is completely wrong. Okay, it's completely wrong approach. So first of all, do not lodge yourself. Secondly, find a registered migration agent or immigration lawyer, inside or outside Australia, fine, but as long as they register somehow, okay, they register Law Society or MARA. Thirdly, you need to distinguish everybody. Like we have so many of them registered, I think more than 7,000 of registered migration agents at the time all immigration lawyers required to registration. 7,000 share like registered, more than that, I believe. Now, how can you find one who actually basically specialize in this area? Okay, specialize in GTI. That's really important. So you don't want to find anyone. You can call, you can call and make inquiry. That's no problem with that. You even can pay for consultation. Although we don't, we provide free assessment because I believe everybody should have a fair go. Now you can pay or it's free consultation, fine, but you need to make decision, a decisive decision, which kind of which migration agent or immigration lawyer you should approach and should handle your application. Now, what kind of judgment are you gonna make towards your decision to picking this migration agent looking after your file? Okay, some of the areas you need to find out. Okay, first of all, you need to make sure you have spoken to the registered migration agent or migration lawyer in this particular area. So you can't just speak to a salesperson who has no understanding of your background, has no understanding of this, legal, they don't have a legal capacity. They do not understand program. They do not understand you. And then just give you say, yes, I think you meet requirement. Oh, no, you don't. And that's it. And that's not sufficient. This is a specialized program. So you want to make sure, first of all, you speak to someone who's registered migration agent, who's specialized in that, they understand you. Secondly, you want to make sure that they understand the policy and yourself, and then these two elements are matched. It's really simple, isn't it? Some kind of simple questions you should always ask yourself. Okay, have they explained to me the policy requirement? Because policy requirement is not common. It's not common knowledge. If they show you the immigration website, which you have access to, say, okay, yes, I think you have international recognition. Oh, yes, I have this flat, and then you don't want to trust them, right? Because there is common knowledge and a common understanding, which is quite wrong. Majority of cases, in most of cases, is really wrong. So you want them to they show you the legal requirement. And then they need to understand, they need to say, okay, why I think you meet requirement. They then match all the criteria scale. Okay, first of all, make sure they meet they have this match, two element match. Second, it's really important. They have to have understanding of what you do. They have to have understanding of what you do. Now, how to just this, this one, it is they have to have done global talent independent program previously, okay, and they have to have a relevant experience in this area. Okay, that's second. Third one is that they actually understand, and why they understand, that's various reasons for that. For instance, for our team, we have consultants in this area who's actually working like you, so therefore we understand. Okay, so and then finally, you need to make sure that they have got successful cases in your area, very similar area before. Now, do we need to have, they have to have, similar cases exactly in the same area? For instance, someone might turn up to, ask me about, oh, they're doing energy. Do I all know everything including energy? We have to have someone who's come out with new candidates in this area, isn't it? But they have to give you these kind of outline, whether they have done this case before. Now, if you may ask me, oh, what happens if you've never done a similar case like before? They done something, but it's not exactly the same. Does it matter? I don't think it matters, because if someone have a general understanding in their brain about GTI program, about you, the policy, about you match the policy, okay, about they've done similar cases, not in exactly the same area, but with other candidates, and then did for other their success rate is high, and they understand what you do. Do they actually need to do exactly same kind of area of work like you? No, I don't think so, because that's apply science. Is that you use this one and theory, and then you apply that, it still works. So overall, I just summarize 3 areas you need to make a judgment on whether or not a migration agent could represent your case, by finding out they are, they first of all, they are, whether they're specialized in this area, whether the migration agent spoken with you, whether they understand the policy requirement, they show you policy requirement, and then they show you how you match the policy requirement, and whether or not they understand what you do. Okay. Most importantly, I want to outline this one. It's you would like to hear they can pinpoint what strategy they want to win the case, they want to use to win the case, what kind of strategy they want. Okay. And although, as I said, most of the free assessment cases, I don't have all information before me. I might have your complete questionnaire, but why I can make judgment and I can tell candidates, okay, what strategy I'm going to use for, because I'm smart, is it? Because it has been systematic way of analyzing our successful candidate, their characteristics, and what departments prefers. Departments has, let's say, when the program starts, November 2019, department has 0 statistics. The statistics they have, it's not working. That is right. They're trying to abolish independent skill migration, but to introduce global talent independent. The statistics itself does not work, does not help the departments to Australian government to attract the right candidate for them. Okay, so therefore they want to create something quite new, to introduce human decision element instead of machine decision element. So the statistics say how was successful or not, it's 0. And we actually work same phrase as department. We assess our clients really representative of a mass application lodged by other agents or other candidates. Now, so we have similar statistics with the department, and we use this information to analyze the characteristics of the preference of department. And that's really critical. And then we match and adjust this. And obviously we have constant communication with the talent officer to ask them a policy. And the reason why we have that power, it's really because of success rate. How many good candidates we present to them, and they're quite happy with our work. Now, so overall, I've just summarized today's section, how to choose someone, whether or not you need to find someone to represent your case, and how to choose a good agent to represent your case. Now, it doesn't mean that you will guarantee kind of result, even you believe that you choose a good migration agent. Some of it matters, elements might be change of policy that you can't control of, a situation or your earning power, you really can't, you can't control. But some of other areas, which is these are statistics you really can't change, but some of elements you can change. It's how you can present your case, how you to pick. That is something that is really shining, and it's not according to your understanding. You believe that it's really shining yourself. According to immigration, no, it doesn't matter. Because why? Because you only know you. Okay, we don't have enough memory or storage to store everything. Okay, you don't know anyone else submitted. You don't know their profile. You don't have access to their knowledge, and department has it. So their preference, therefore, is really important. So you don't want to present something like you think it's really important. I'm going to tell this. And then, so that's not important, right? Therefore, having a a specialist handling your case is critical. And if candidate asks me what makes that different, and I'm telling you here, because they can pick that is something what department prefers. Australian government prefers. That's the purpose of this program anyway, isn't it? Australian government prefers and pick and emphasize that area that makes sure you meet all the policy requirements. All right, so today, just outline whether or not you should choose a migration agent and what kind of migration agent you should choose. Thank you. Bye.